You are listening to the First Down Breakdown with Beast and Breeze picks.
Like I've been ballin' cause I'm really ballin'. I wanna apologize, I'm not really sorry.
All right, we're officially off. What's going on, guys? My name is Beast Picks. Some of you guys might know me from a couple TikToks I put out about sports betting. I'm here with my buddy Breeze, Breeze Picks, and
Let's
we're
go
just kind of
Beast.
we're just trying to get together a podcast. We've kind of discussed it for a while, but just never really put the details together. So I'm excited to kind of get an NFL, betting podcast, just NFL sports talk. So, got anything to say?
Excited. It's been many years coming. I think we finally got time ready to get this rolling and hopefully get some viewers. I think we got two good minds in the sport industry, so definitely the picks we're going to have, definitely tail them. But look forward to getting this going every week for your fans.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, both me and Breeze, we've kind of just been gambling since it was before it was legalized in Michigan, and now that it's legalized in Michigan. So we've kind of just been a little bit of degenerates putting our bets together for a while now. So glad that we can do it legally, but I guess let's get it started. Obviously, the Thursday night game, big kickoff game, is the Cowboys in Tampa Bay. That spread right now, last I looked, was Tampa Bay -8, and the over/under is 52. So, do you have any plays on that game?
So for that one, I'll probably just be watching. I think it's going to be a good game, but I feel like the spread's just too much. I love the Buccaneers defense. I think they got like their whole core back from last year, so I think they're going to stop the run with Zeke, and Prescott's probably going to be a little off balance. So I think Tampa Bay might be a good play, but I would honestly lean Cowboys. I can easily see like a late cover happening in the fourth quarter. I have it probably like 31-24 Buccaneers. So I would lean Cowboys with a late cover, but I don't officially have a play on that one.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I was kind of looking at the same thing. It feels like 8 points is kind of a weird number. I could see a late cover, but I actually do have an official play on that. I'm going under 52. A lot of that just has to do with, like you mentioned, that Tampa Bay defense bringing back pretty much the entire core. And then, I mean, I'm kind of just factoring in, hoping that the teams kind of come out rusty. I know they had preseason games and stuff, but Brady wasn't playing much. I kind of hope that Bucks offense kind of just comes out slow and we get an under. 52 points is quite a lot of points. I know Dallas's defense is kind of suspect, but kind of just hoping we get a little bit of rust. And I feel like it's a lot of points, and I
For
could
sure.
easily see both teams kind of coming out slow in that first half. So I'm
Yeah,
going under 52.
I feel like week one unders are a good play for sure. Everyone comes off a little rusty from the preseason,
Yeah,
just trying
yeah.
to get into things. And I also think Cowboys linebacking core is pretty solid. The front seven I think is pretty good. I think question marks are probably in the secondary, honestly, and we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So the next game I have on my sheet is Cardinals and Titans. Spread right now is Titans -3, and then I have the over under at 52.5. What do you think on that game?
I think this is gonna be one of the best ones of the week, in my opinion. I think it's probably gonna be a shootout. Both offensive talented teams. I'm a big Titans fan. However, I do like the Cardinals, so this is another tough one for me. I feel like it should honestly be like a pick 'em. I don't have an official play, but I think the Cardinals. I would lean Cardinals +3 on this one.
Yeah, definitely. I was kind of looking at the same thing. As much as I love Tannehill, he's probably one of my favorite quarterbacks. Kind of think he doesn't get the credit he deserves, and Derrick Henry's a monster. I just feel like that line's kind of getting a little bit gassed up because they see, oh, Julio Jones just got traded to the Titans,
Exactly.
and
Yep.
I think you're right. I think Kyler Murray has enough in the tank to kind of keep up in that game. I could easily see the Cardinals winning that game outright, but I'm going to stay away from it as well. It's not really anything. Even that over under 52.5, that's hard because both teams have good offenses. But like you said, a lot of teams come out slow. So, yeah, I'm staying away from that game. But I think I would probably lean Cardinals +3 as well. So,
Yes. Yeah. I think it's gonna be a great game to watch. It's always tough to bet on those ones, especially when they're that close to the game.
oh, for sure, for sure. So, next up, I got Colts and Seahawks. Spread on that is Seahawks -2.5. over under of 49.5. Do you have anything on that game?
So that one, I think the biggest question mark for me is just if Wentz is going to be healthy. I think if he's healthy, I'd lay the 2.5 plus 2.5. I just feel like road at home. Feel like their defense is solid enough to hold Wilson intact. But I feel like with the biggest question mark of him like not even being healthy, it's very tough to take that. So I'd probably lean Seahawks. I don't have a play on this one. I'd probably just lean Seahawks. Got a new offense coordinator, so looking forward to seeing what they do with that. I know like their defense really stopped the running game last year, so I don't see Jonathan Taylor doing a whole lot in this game. So I would lean Seahawks minus 2.5, but I think if Wentz is healthy, I could easily go the other way.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I do have a play on this one, and I'm kind of banking on Wentz being healthy. I looked at some reports last night, and based on everything I've kind of seen, they're kind of expecting that he should be okay to go. So I'm laying Colts money line plus 125.
Hey, I like that.
Hey, kind of my underdog of the week. I'm just looking at that Colts team, man. Like you said, they're at home. I think they're kind of getting a little bit of disrespect here. That Colts defense is a hell of a lot better than that Seahawks defense. So if it becomes a defensive game, I'm taking Colts all the way. But I don't know, man. I don't think Carson Wentz is completely done. I think he kind of has a lot to prove. I think he actually might play rather good for the Colts this year. They might kind of be an underrated team if he can put it together. But I think he's healthy enough, and I think from what I've read, he sounds like he's going to play. And with him and Jonathan Taylor, I'd be excited about that Colts line. I think they're going to have enough. The Seahawks defense has got plenty of holes, especially in that secondary. So I think Colts money line plus 125 is a great line. I'm going to take that value all day. So I'm going
For
to lay
sure.
that. Next game I got is Chargers and the Washington football team. And that's Chargers minus one. The over under is 44.5. Do you
All
got
right,
anything on that?
I got to play on this
Oh,
one.
he's cooked something up
So
here.
so this is my favorite play of the week. I'm
All
going
right.
Washington football team. I know the public's going to be hammering the Chargers, Justin Herbert. They think that the Washington football team is going to be garbage this year. I personally think they're going to win the division. I think their defense this year is off the charts. I love me some Fitz magic. McLaurin will be doing his thing, and I think they're going to have a good partnership moving forward. You got Antonio Gibson running the ball. I think Washington football team is going to be the play here. Also, Chargers have a new head coach. I feel like he's going to have a little inexperience. Maybe make a wrong play here at the end, and Washington's going to get cover in late in the fourth quarter. I think.
Yeah, for sure. I don't have a play on that game, but I kind of agree. I was looking at it, and I know the spread's only minus one for the Chargers, but Washington, they're solid, man. Like you said, that defensive line is absurd with Sweat, and then Chase Young. I was really bummed the Lions couldn't draft Chase Young, so it's tough to see him doing so well right now for
Yes.
Washington. But I think he's going to make a big leap in year two. He was good last year, but I think he's going to become a kind of a premier defensive lineman in this league. So off that edge, he's kind of hard to stop. But yeah, I would probably lean that as well. I'm looking at the over under on it as well, 44.5. Just because of that Washington defense, I could see that game going under because if the Chargers don't score, I don't see Washington putting up some absurd amount of points. Like their offense is pretty good, and I like Fitzmagic, but I don't see that game being some absolute shootout with the way Washington's defense plays. So
Yeah,
I'm
and I
staying
think
away, but yeah, I'd probably take the under or take Washington as well.
I just feel like it's a very trap line. Like definitely, I would think Chargers would be like -3. So just seeing it staying at -1, I feel like it's just itching the public to take it. And then Sunday comes and it's going to be a different story.
For sure, for sure. Next game I got up is the just absolute bottom of the barrel. Jaguars and Texans.
Oh
And that
boy.
line is Jags minus 2.5 is what I saw, and then over under of 45. So
Yeah,
you,
I hope you get your beers ready for that game because if you're gonna watch that one, you're gonna have a lot of drinks because it's gonna be a tough game to watch. I can tell you that. But on that one, honestly, I just have to go. I don't have a play on it, but I would have to go Jags. I just feel like Texans, they're just an absolute mess right now. They lost J.J. Watt. They lost Deshaun Watson, Tyrod Taylor. I like the guy, but I just feel like they don't have enough around him right now to do enough. And I just feel like Urban Meyer, it's hard to always bet against the guy. I know he's in the NFL now, but I feel like he always gets his guys fired up. I would probably take Jaguars on this in this one. And also, Trevor Lawrence, I think, is going to be the real deal. So I would just stay and make the smart play here and just take Jaguars. I don't have a play on it, but I think that's just on paper, that's the play to go.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, I'm kinda looking at that game. That's just a disgusting game, 2 of the
Yeah.
worst teams in the league, and I know that Trevor Lawrence has gotten all the hype for being the number 1 overall pick, but, from what I've seen, um, I think he's gonna have some growing pains. I don't think he's gonna come out and start the year off absolutely on fire. Maybe he'll prove me wrong. I mean, the guy's, one of the best quarterback prospects to come out of, the draft in a long time, but I kind of agree, even with, some question marks in my opinion with that quarterback situation in Jacksonville. I still think the Texans are just so bad that -2.5. I mean, all you need is a field goal, and I think they could pull that off. Jaguars at least are kind of rebuilding to a point better than the Texans are. So I'm staying away from that game as well, but I would probably lean Jags -2.5. So next game I have is Jets and Panthers, and that is Carolina is -5.5, and the over under is 45.5. Do you got anything there?
Don't have anything here, but I'm actually looking forward to this one. I feel like Zach Wilson. I think he's kind of going a little underrated right now. I feel like he might be one of the best ones in that draft class. So I'm looking forward to seeing how he does. And I also think Sam Darnold wasn't as bad as people make him. I know he was on the Jets, but that organization was just a mess under Adam Gates. So I just feel like having Robert Sala, I think he for Zach Wilson, I think is going to get him going, and also for Sam Darnold, I feel like with the new team and new environment, I think he's actually be finally able to show off his talents. I feel like with Christian McCaffrey, Robbie Anderson, he's also going to have DJ Moore. I feel like there's a ton more weapons than he ever had in New York. So I'm actually looking forward to both these teams. I feel like Carolina might be a big sleeper this year, actually, in my opinion. But I think 5 is too many. So I'd probably lean Jets here, to be honest. Probably take the +5.
Yeah, yeah, 5.5 actually is what it's at right now, and
Oh, wow, okay.
I yeah, I completely agree. I don't have a play. I really kind of was tempted to take the Jets +5.5 as one of my plays of the week, but I just don't have enough faith in the Jets yet. But I tell you
Yeah.
what, man, Zach Wilson looked awesome in the preseason. He was probably one of the best quarterbacks as far as the rookies go in the preseason, and I really liked what I was seeing. He was slinging the ball all over the place. I think the Jets' offense actually might have some fire if he can, kind of work with that. But they have some question marks. They're starting the kid from UNC. What's his face, Carter, at
Oh, yeah.
running
Got a
back,
couple
and
rookie cards. Got a couple
hey, you
rookie
know what,
cards on
man?
him.
So they have some question marks. I'm staying away from it, but I do like that Jets +5.5. Feels like too many points. Darnold, we don't really know what we're going to get from him. So, anyways, next game I got up is I got the Eagles and Falcons. Falcons -3 is what the line's at right now, and then the over under is 48. Do you have anything there?
So in that one, I don't have anything there, but I think it's gonna be a shootout, in my opinion. So I would lean over. What's over on that one right now?
48.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I can
Yep.
easily see like a 54-55 type of deal. Falcons, you always can rely on them to put up points,
Yep.
and their defense is suspect. So I would definitely take the over there. It's
Yep.
not one of my plays, but now that I'm actually thinking about the line, I might dabble on it on Sunday morning.
There you go. There you
But I
go.
think I think the Falcons are kind of going a little underrated this year as well. I feel like Kyle Pitts is a big addition. I know they lost Julio, but I think Ridley's going to have a huge year. Looking forward to see what Jalen Hurts does with the Eagles, but I think their defense is still not there. I know they have Slay and a couple other guys on the team, but I just feel like this team. I don't know. I just feel like there's too much offense on both sides.
Right, right. Yeah, I'm actually that's one of my plays is over 48. And I really like that play. Just like you said, both defenses suspect. I'm excited about Jalen Hurts. I think he's going to make a leap this next year. And then I'm also looking at Matt Ryan. He still has plenty in the tank. I think a lot of people are kind of like kind of disrespected him a little bit, in my opinion. Like you said, he still has Ridley there. He still has now Kyle Pitts. I think Kyle Pitts is going to be a lot better than most people expect because he kind of can go out of the slot. He'll play tight end. I mean, but he's more of a receiver. If you ask me, he's just like a huge receiver, kind of like a Kelvin Johnson type, just at the tight end position.
Yeah, and I
And
think
yeah, I'm excited to see what Mike Davis does, honestly, too. That's a guy that's gotten disrespect. People have been talking so much shit about Mike
tree
Davis
trunks.
all year, dude. I don't care if he was a backup, in Carolina and whatever else. Um, the guy's been
The
a,
guy
a
had
beast, like
he's got tree trunks, man.
yeah, man, he's a big fella. I think he's gonna actually, kind of pound it through. He's kind of that smash mouth football. So I think over 48 is a huge play though because I think Philly's got enough weapons. The Falcons have enough weapons. I really like over 48. That's one of my plays of the week. So I'm excited
And
about that game.
yeah, and I think the other thing for me is like the Eagles. I think Hurts struggled last year. Just their offensive line had so many injuries. I know they got a couple guys back and they signed some in free agency. So I think if that offensive line holds up, I don't see the Eagles being as bad as they were last year, but still think there's question marks on that defense for sure. I think they'll be able to put up points, but hopefully defense they get it going.
For sure, for sure. Next game I have is the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Buffalo Bills. Line is Bills minus 6.5. Over under a 48.5. You got anything there?
Yeah, so for this one, screaming under to me. Just that Steelers defense, Bills defense. It's in Buffalo. Always a tough environment. Always feel like defenses get after it there. I know you're going up against Diggs, and Allen. Then you got Big Ben and Juju and Claypool on the other side. I know Najee Harris. Looking forward to seeing him play. But I just feel like there's a big overreaction on people probably taking the over in here in this one. Because I think last time I looked, it was at 49. It might even drop even more. But I think this morning when I looked, it was probably 48.5. I'd still take that.
Yeah,
I easily see like a 21, like 17 game. So I lean under here. I just feel like the spread's also kind of too much with 6.5. I feel like Steelers could easily cover that. But my official play in this one, I'm taking the under.
for sure. Yeah, I don't have a play on this officially, but I kind of agree. I think this game's going to be kind of a low scoring, battle. And I'm looking at Bills minus 6.5. It feels like the Bills are the better team, but man, 6.5 points is a lot of points, and all it takes is a late touchdown from the Steelers, who definitely can still play. I'm excited to see what Najee Harris does this year. I liked him at Alabama. I think the Steelers probably could keep up in this game. I would either lean, like you said, the under, but I'd probably also lean Steelers plus 6.5. So, but I don't have anything there, but I like those. So, next game I have up is the Minnesota Vikings and Cincinnati Bengals. That line is Vikings minus 3, and then we have an over under of 47.5. Do you got anything there?
Yeah, so for this one, I'm taking the Bengals +3 at home. So one thing I love to do when it comes to NFL betting, I hate betting road favorites. Just feel like it's always so tough taking the spread and being at home. You got Joe Burrow coming back. You got Jamar Chase, revamped offense. Feel like they just got to stop Dalvin Cook enough uh, to cover. I feel like Cousins might be making a couple interceptions this one. So I lean Bengals here late. Probably, I honestly could see this game going like overtime and Bengals winning on like a field goal. But I would take the +3. I think it's a pretty safe play here in this one.
Yeah, I don't have much there, but I do like that same thing. Bengals +3. I just think Joey Burrow. He's a good quarterback. I'm excited to see what he does off this ACL. But at the same time, the Vikings. I mean, they can play, but you're coming to Cincinnati. I like Bengals +3 there as well. So next game, going to be an absolute blowout if you ask me. But 49ers and Lions. 49ers minus 7.5. Over under of 45. Do you have a play on that one?
So we're big Lions fans, but hey, as bad as we looked in the preseason, I think this line's a trap. I think they're making you take 49ers. I feel like the Lions are going to pull some, BS and cover late. I don't have an official play, but maybe it might be a homer play since I'm big Lions fan, but I think +7 might not be a bad option. I think the biggest I think what we're just gonna do is just run the ball and milk the clock, to be honest. So what's the over on that one?
45.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was gonna say if it was like anything over 48, I'd probably lean under, but yeah, I'd probably just lean plus 7.5 Lions because I mean you never know with Jimmy G either. Trey Lance is playing, I'd probably take 49ers.
Yeah, yeah, I got you. Yeah, I don't have a play on that one, but same kind of thing. I kind of wonder if the Lions can even score enough to put up for that over 45. But 45 is low number, so I'm staying away as far as play. I'll probably just watch that game and have plenty of beers on deck because I'm gonna just have to drink away all that pain. I got a T-shirt that I probably should have worn. It says "My team makes me drink," and it's a blue little lion symbol nice next to it. So I'm staying away, but I kind of agree. I feel like the Lions could keep it within 7.5, but I don't know, man. I don't have enough faith in them. I could also see that 49ers defense being good enough where the Lions just can't do anything. So,
Yeah, because the last time I looked, the public was hammering Niners, but the line hasn't moved, so I just feel like
right, right.
might
That's a
be
lot of
some.
points. I think it's one of
Yeah.
the highest spreads of the week. So, anyways, I'm staying away. But next game we got is going into the 4 o'clock games. The Cleveland Browns and the Kansas City Chiefs were probably one of the best games of the weekend. But it's Chiefs minus 6.5, and then over under 54.5. Do you have anything on this one?
So this one I didn't touch. I think 6.5 is probably too much. I'd probably lean Browns here. But I also feel like it's just going to be a shootout. I feel like Browns have a decent defense. Chiefs, I feel like their defense is good, but definitely could be better. So I definitely feel like there's going to be a shootout in this one.
Yeah,
I'm staying away. I feel like it would be a great game to watch for sure, though. I'd probably see like 31-27 Chiefs. Um, I'd probably lean Browns here, but don't have an official play.
definitely. I do have a play on this one, and it's actually a prop. So I usually try to throw in at least one player prop or some type of prop. I'm going Travis Kelsey over 87.5 receiving yards. I know that sounds like a lot, but this is Travis Kelsey. He's one of the best tight ends, I'd say, probably as far as receiving. Until somebody can knock him off, he's the top receiving tight end in the league. And I can see him and Mahomes just absolutely cooking against the Browns. The Browns linebacking core is, I mean, people will argue that, whatever, if they're Browns fans, but I think Kelsey's going to have plenty of room over the middle. I think they're going to have all kinds of time. I think he's going to actually cook that game. I could see him easily being up over 100 yards. So I'm taking over 87.5 receiving yards. Probably one of my favorite props of the week. So if anybody's into player props, that's my one for the week. So moving on, we
I
got
like that one.
Broncos. Yeah. We got Broncos and Giants. And the spread is Broncos -3, over under a 42. Do you have anything there?
Yeah, so for this one, I'm taking the Broncos -3. I also feel like it might be a trap, but it's just so hard for me to bet on the Giants, man. That organization is a joke, in my opinion.
Yeah.
uh, and I went to school with a bunch of Giants fans, so there's always, I think like those are the worst type of fans you can have out there. I feel like there's too many question marks with Saquon. Kenny Galladay, hate to see him go from the Lions. Feel like if he can stay healthy, he'll have a big year. But I just feel like they always find a way to make it ugly. And just I can't bet against the Broncos front seven.
Oh yeah,
I think they're just way too good, and they re-signed Simmons, which I didn't know. I think Simmons is a beast at safety. He's coming back. I just feel like it's gonna be hard for the Giants to put up some points. I'm going to rely on Teddy Bridgewater, which is another question mark, but I'm honestly just hoping that the Broncos defense holds us down for enough to where we can cover that spread.
for
So I
sure.
got Broncos -3 in this one.
Yeah, I'm on the same play. I got Broncos -3 as well. So that makes me excited to see what you're saying on that. Kind of like you touched on. So I won't go super into it, but that defense is nasty, man. Got Bradley Chubb, Von Miller's been around forever, but he still has it, man. That secondary, like you said, is nasty with Simmons, and then they just drafted Patrick Surtain, at corner. So I'm excited to see what he does. The rookie. I mean, he might have some growing pains, but that's going to be a very, very good defense. I don't really think the Giants are good enough to really put up that many points. I think just on defense alone, that Broncos team could win. But I like Teddy Bridgewater. I love the receivers. You got Judy, you got KJ Hamler, you got Cortland Sutton. Probably one of the best like young receiver groups in the league, I would
For
say. So
sure.
I'm excited about Denver. I got Broncos -3 as well. So moving on, we got Green Bay and New Orleans. So the Packers and Saints. Packers are -4 right now. Over under a 50.
Yeah, so for this one, the line has moved a ton
Yeah,
in the Packers' favor, and I love that reverse line movement. I'm taking Saints +4, baby. Famous Jameis. I think Jameis Winston. I wouldn't mind sprinkling a little MVP prop bet. Uh,
man,
and
that's a bold.
come week 10, 11, maybe get a big cash out. I think if you watch him in the preseason, that play action, he had some great deep ball passes. Michael Thomas comes back later the year. I think he could have a big year, and also just having Elvin Kamara, just those drop down screen passes, he's gonna be racking up the yards. I feel like Jameis always put up the numbers in his career at Tampa. He always just made some wrong decisions. I feel like just learning under Breeze, I feel like he could have a big year this year, and I wouldn't mind sprinkling a little Jameis Winston MVP.
For sure, for sure. I don't have a play on this one, but I think it's going to be an awesome game. Obviously, we know the Packers are good. Being Lions fans, we've seen what Aaron Rodgers does to the NFC North every single year. But I'm staying away. I kind of agree with you a little bit on the Saints are going to be really good this year. I don't know. I love Jameis, but I don't
I'm
know.
trying to
Yeah, I mean, I saw him in the preseason too, and I want to believe he's going to be good. I'm a little bit higher on him than most people. I don't know if he's going to do the MVP thing, but I like that take the chance
plus
on it.
5,000 right now
I
on
mean,
FanDuel.
that's a huge number, and that New Orleans offense is always good. So maybe he's going to have the pieces around him where he can kind of just sit in the pocket and do what he wants. And a lot of times you have Sean Payton as your offensive coordinator, pretty much calling those plays. Even though, yeah. So anyway, so I'm excited about that game, but I'm staying away. So we got Dolphins and Patriots next. Gonna be an interesting game, but two young quarterbacks. Patriots -3 is what the line is, and then over under a 43.5, which is super low.
Yeah, so for this one, I don't have a play on it. I just feel like it's gonna be a dogfight, super close game. I feel like too much Alabama players in this one. You got Tua, you got Mac Jones. It's like rewatching Alabama. I think Jalen Waddle's gonna have a big year. Maybe dabble. Jalen Waddle wins Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah,
Uh, but in this one, I'd probably have to say take the over. It's just so low for me. If I had to lean somewhere, I just feel like Tua's gonna have a better year than people think, and I think Mac Jones is gonna have a pretty good career. He looked great in the preseason. Jacoby Myers, I think, is gonna be a good addition for him. So I'd probably lean over in this one, but I can also see it just being an ugly dogfight.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't have a play on this one as well, but I don't know, man. Dolphins +3. It's pretty nice line. Um, I haven't seen anything from Mac Jones, and I know that Tua at times last year looked really good. Times, towards the end of the year, he was kind of struggling, and they always had Fitzpatrick around. Maybe that kind of scared him, threatened him, but I think he learned a lot last year. I think he's going to be better this year. So I'm excited to see what we get out of Tua this year. I think that Dolphins team is probably, um, I don't know. I think they're good enough to keep within three. They might even win that game. So I'm staying away, but I'd probably go Dolphins +3 if I'd lean. Um, Going to Sunday night football, Bears and Rams. That line is Rams -7.5. Over under 47. You got anything on that Sunday night football?
So this is my last play of the week. I'm taking under 47 and a half here.
Mhm.
Uh, Honestly, mostly because I just feel like the Bears aren't going to put up more than 17 points. Feel like with their defense, with Khalil Mack, I feel like in their linebacking core, they can hold the Rams probably to less than 30 points. So I can see like a 30-17 game. So I'd probably lean under here. Looking forward to seeing what Stafford does in LA. Never been a huge fan, but seeing if he can prove me wrong out in LA.
Right. I actually do have a play on this one too. It's not on the over under. It's gonna be Rams first half -4. I just think one, Andy Dalton. I don't really trust him at all on the Bears. I'm kind of confused on why they're starting Andy Dalton, but that's besides the point. I think Justin Fields is the better QB in that QB room, but everybody on ESPN will say the same thing. So that's not some bold take from me. But I just think Rams minus 7.5 for full games, a little bit much, but I can see the Rams coming out hot. Obviously, like you said, we've watched Stafford for years in Detroit. If anybody knows Stafford, it's us. I think Stafford's going to do a lot better with the tools he has around him in LA, but I also think that it helps. Daryl Henderson. I'm excited to see what he does. He's on my fantasy team. I just think that Rams offense is going to be cooking this year. The defense, obviously, we know Aaron Donald is an absolute beast, probably one of the best defensive players in the league. I just like Rams first half -4. I feel like they're going to come out hot. I don't see Chicago scoring a ton, like you said, and I could easily see it being like a 7 point lead at half, maybe 10 points. I don't think this game's going to be as close in the first half as they think. 4 points seems like a nice number, but I don't want to take 7.5 full game. But as far as Stafford goes, full season, there's people putting MVP bets in on him. I think he's going to be good this year, but I just don't know if everybody realizes that there were times last year where he threw some very questionable picks, and I
It's gonna
like
happen.
Stafford. Yeah, and I like Stafford. I'm kind of a Stafford supporter, but he threw some very questionable picks. I don't think he's the same QB that he was back when he threw for 5,000 yards and everything, and had Calvin Johnson. He's had back injuries, which is a major injury. If you ask me, it's a recurring thing. I'm not going to elaborate on that because they will never talk about that kind of stuff on ESPN. But besides the point, I think he has some injury concerns with that. I mean, a back injury could put you out for your career. I mean, Peyton Manning came back from back injury, but
Yeah.
anyways, yeah. So finish it
I
out.
think
We got yeah,
they're just gonna run the ball in that one game too. I feel like they're just gonna run the ball early, just feel the offenses. So I mean, I don't know what the Bears team total is, but that might be another play taking the under in that one.
for sure,
I don't have the official lineup right now, but probably will look at that one more so on Sunday.
definitely. Finish it out. Monday Night Football. We got Ravens and Raiders. Kind of excited for this game. It's Ravens minus 4.5 as the spread right now, and then we have over under of 51.
Yeah, so this one's tough for me. I honestly lean Raiders here. Big John Gruden fan. I feel like this might be their year. Um, I know last year they had an awful home record. They were like 2-6. I don't see that being the same this year. I feel like the fans are definitely going to make a difference there. They got like a whole concert like bar venue you can sit courtside now. I feel like that's going to be pretty cool to watch. And I feel like Lamar Jackson, he's a great player. Definitely think the Ravens still win this one. But I easily can see the Ravens winning this one. I easily see the Raiders covering here. I don't have an official play, but I lean Raiders plus 4.5.
For sure. Yeah, I don't have a play on this one either. I'm gonna just be excited to watch this game. Um, Honestly, I probably would lean if I had anything to do on this. I'd probably go under 51. I think that Ravens defense is actually pretty decent. Um, and maybe Lamar comes out a little bit slow. I mean, it's week one. I think everybody just expects that Lamar is going to be in like mid-season form all the time. Um, Maybe it comes out slow. 51 points is a ton of points. I could see this one going under, just being more of like a 24-20 kind of game. But I'm not gonna put anything official on that, but I kind of agree with you as far as maybe we have to make a Vegas trip and check out that
Oh
stadium,
yeah,
dude. That
we
it
got
looks
to.
sweet. It looks sweet. So to sum it up, my plays of the day, I have in the Tampa Bay Dallas game, I have under 52. I have Colts money line plus 125 as an underdog of the week. I have in the Philadelphia and Atlanta game, I have over 48. I have Travis Kelsey over 87.5 receiving yards for Kansas City. I have Broncos -3 with you. And then to finish it out, I have the Rams first half -4 over the Bears. You want to say your plays?
Yeah, for sure. So I got Steelers under 48.5, Washington football team +1, Bengals +3, Broncos -3, Saints +4, and then taking the under in the Rams game under 47.5. And
For
then
Yeah.
a little sprinkle on Jameis winning MVP.
All right, for sure, for sure. All right, so we kind of finished up our plays. So we just got one like last segment we're gonna kind of do here. Emilion had some kind of crazy questions he found off the internet. I have one myself. So if you want to go ahead with that.
Yeah, for sure. So every week we're gonna try to, I'm a big Reddit guy. I think some of the articles on there you find are hilarious. We're gonna try and find a funny one every week. Kind of change it up on the show here. So the one I found, it's talking about Ryan Fitzpatrick and the interceptions he's thrown by a team. So just curious, do you think Ryan Fitzpatrick has thrown an interception against all 32 teams in his career?
So we actually didn't even talk about this before. He just mentioned that he had a question. So I actually have zero idea to answer this question. Um, I mean, 32 teams. I mean, he's been around and he's been on all kinds of different divisions. I feel like, yeah, I feel like he probably has, but I could be wrong on that.
He hasn't. Very, very close though. The only
Oh my God.
teams he hasn't thrown a pick against, the Detroit Lions. The fact he
Oh
hasn't
my
thrown
God.
one against us is mind
Yeah.
blowing. But then
Well,
he
hey,
also
we never
has
have a good defense.
then he has Falcons, Buccaneers, Saints, and Packers. But the one that blew my mind away was he's thrown 25 just against the Pats. I
Oh my
kind of
goodness.
get it. He's played with Miami, played him a lot, but 25 against one team, that's just tough. Um, but yeah, I was kind of surprised that it was 5 teams. I thought it'd be like 1 or 2 teams that he hasn't thrown one against.
Yeah,
But hey, maybe he breaks that record this year.
for sure, for sure. So my question I have is, can you name? I mean, you might be able to name it. Is the most receiving yards over 40 years old by a
Most
receiver?
receiving
Yeah,
yards.
yeah. I guess not just by a receiver, but
How old was this? How old ago? Well, how long ago did this happen? I would say. I
uh,
think I have an idea. Is it
it
Randy
was with
Moss?
no, but you know what? That's a pretty good guess, man. It's a Hall of Famer. So it's Jerry Rice, and he had 950.
Okay.
Yeah, he had 958 yards, which is insane for somebody that old. He was a beast. His whole career. Obviously, probably one of the greatest of all time. A lot of people say he is. But number two on the list is Tom Brady. So there's only
What?
yeah, so there's only three people that have ever done this. Caught a pass over the age of 40. So it goes Jerry Rice, who obviously he caught a lot of passes over the age of 40 because he had 958 yards. But then it goes Tom Brady with one reception for 6 yards. He would have had two receptions if he caught one in the Philly game, that Super Bowl game.
Oh
They
yeah.
tried to do their own, trick play. And then the third guy, Brett Favre with one catch
Oh my
for
god.
like it was like -3 yards. So I saw that stat and I like because like more of the question was like, can anybody name off the number two? Because Jerry Rice was very good still into his 40s,
Yeah.
but yeah, Tom Brady one catch for 6 yards. So I thought that was
Did
interesting. At least he can put that on his trophy case if he doesn't put all the Super Bowl rings.
yeah. I just
But
feel like Randy Moss played in his 40s, but I could I guess I was way wrong on that.
yeah, I don't know what year Randy Moss retired, but maybe it was like 38, 39. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
can't name that off the top of my head, but you're right. He played deep and he was still pretty good at an older age. So, but hey, you know what? That sums it up. We just wanted to get that last segment in there. Figured it would kind of be a fun way to kind of end the show. But it was kind of fun. This is our first time trying this out. I thought it went pretty well. We're going to try to do this every week for the NFL, try to put our plays because it's exciting, that we got football back. So going to try to drop this within the next couple days. Do you have anything you got to say before we go?
no, I think it's been great. Look forward to dropping this on a weekly basis. Definitely want the fans' input. If you guys want to hear about different topics or anything else we can incorporate on the podcast, looking forward to taking the feedback and adding it to it. So looking forward to seeing what we get out of this. But I think it was a good start for sure.
For sure. Yeah, and I mean, if we can get a following, we might even be able to try to do something live some days. Maybe not as long as this, but try to get people to call in or join in on audio. Like, be pretty cool. So we'll have to test out some things, but just kind of trying some different things out. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll probably end it real quick here, and we'll look to see you guys next week. So happy betting,
For
everybody.
sure. Let's go, Beast.
Yep, Breeze.